What's good in the hood, YouTube? This is Crazy Samurai 71 here, bringing you another video. Today I wanted to bring you a video regarding the Ubisoft E3 2016 press conference. Today's press conference was pretty interesting. It was good. I actually did enjoy it a lot. People, one thing I want to say to everyone is when you watch like these press conferences online and you see the comments and stuff and you're watching them live, don't focus on them because it's so bad what people post on there. So I'm just saying that is a completely separate note, but that's my opinion. Some of the things that people like to say on that stuff is just not even right and not even fair. So don't always look at things the way that the comment section views things. Anyway, I wanted to go into this talking about Ubisoft here. I thought it was pretty good myself. Remember, it's all opinion based. You know, it's maybe to you, maybe you liked it, maybe you didn't like it. In my opinion, I actually thought Ubisoft did a really good job. There was a lot of really great stuff that was shown off. They showed off Tom Clancy's Wildlands, which looked real. Tom Clancy's Ghost Recon Wildlands, which looked really good. Definitely expanded on what we had already seen so far of the game. And it looks really cool. It actually looks like a really fun game. I was really happy with what I got to see from that. So that was great. There were a bunch of things that were shown up that were exciting. I mean, I don't want to make it too long, but I just wanted to basically talk a little bit about this. There were a lot of things that were shown off. There was Tom Clancy's Underground stuff that was for the Division that was shown off. And Division stuff was just, they didn't really show any gameplay. They showed like more like a trailer of the survival mode that they're introducing with the Undergrounds, and then they also showed off Eagle Flight, which looked interesting. Not necessarily something I really care for as much as I was at first interested, but it looked okay. There was also the Star Trek stuff that ended up happening where they had like LeVar Burton who came in, who was very cool to see him. It was interesting. Obviously, also for those who don't know, Ubisoft had their 30th. This was their 30th year being a major being around, so that's a big deal, and so they celebrated it, and they made a big deal about it several times over. There were other games that were announced. There was Grow Up, which was a sequel to Grow Home, which I remember seeing that game on someone's channel, watching it before, which was very cool. And it's an interesting game, and it's cool that they are making a sequel to it, which is going to be Grow Up, and it looks very similar to the last one, but with newer stuff and pretty much the same kind of visual aspects, but still looks really nice. There were lots of other things, like the Assassin's Creed movie was covered, which was really cool to see all of that and see the movie and see some of the movie trailer for that was shown off at E3. There were a bunch of different things that were really, really awesome that were shown off with this E3 press conference for Ubisoft. What else is there? I'm trying to also not look too much, but there was also Watch Dogs 2, which actually looked really awesome. I was really happy with how they showed it off. The trailer looked great. The gameplay looked great. One thing that they even talked about was the aspect of like making it into a movie, which that's just them saying things. Could it happen? Yes. Do I think do I agree with that? Yeah, it looks really good. It looks like it could definitely fit on a movie screen and work really well. It could be really cool. But I don't expect that necessarily anytime soon, but it definitely has the potential there. There were other things that were really cool, like Trials of the Blood Dragon it was just kind of funny. Like the trailer with like the animated characters and all that, and the 8-bit graphics, pretty cool. Trying to see here. For Honor was something that I really was hyped for. I'll tell you that much right now. For Honor was a game that really looked great. I remember when they showed off just the combat gameplay last year, but this year, it looks so great. It really did. It looked really polished, really nice. The combat stuff is amazing. I really think this is like one of Ubisoft. I think that Ubisoft has a game right there that's really great and that's exciting, and it's cool because it's coming out on Valentine's Day, which is interesting, of next year, so that's cool. There's also a few other things I'm trying to think now. there wasn't much else for that stuff. Well, the last thing that was shown off, which I actually think was pretty cool, was Steep. At first, I wasn't really that interested, and I'm not like it's not like I'm not interested, but I am in some ways. Because I think that it's I think it's one of those games where it's like it's very inventive, and it's something that like could become sort of like how games like Mario Maker and the computer game Happy Wheels and those kind of games are, in the sense is that like you're able to create these worlds, and it could become one of those popular gaming ideas where like lots of people begin to create a bazillion levels or a bazillion tasks for people. Though I think it's a little bit less so because it's more of an optional thing rather than everyone's going to be doing it. So I'm not thinking it's going to get that much attention to the point that it's going to go that far, but you never know. I mean, I honestly don't know myself what might happen. I mean, it's all up in the air. Things are really all over the place. I'm hoping that if it does well, that's good. I don't necessarily know if I see it doing well, because it's also the aspect of, okay, it is a sports themed, which is cool, but it's something that like also it's not like it's part of a series of games that's existed before. It looks kind of like a random IP that they just made up. And I'm not saying that it's bad, but it's sort of like, unless you're into this stuff or unless you're just interested in buying the game, because it's not something that most people are going to necessarily go out of their way and get. In my opinion. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe a lot of people will be buying Steep when it comes out. But personally, I'm not saying it doesn't look that bad, because it looks really good. But it's just, I don't necessarily imagine it getting as much attention as I'm guessing they're hoping it gets. But I'm sure that it will definitely get a good amount of attention. But obviously for me, I'm just saying one opinion. Could that change? Could it really receive like probably incredible praise in the end? Yeah, it could just as easily become like one of the biggest things. The last thing I can think of off the top of my head otherwise is, I mean, yeah, we'll have to see. Overall, like, all this stuff was great. What other things was showing up? I'm trying to think now. There was the Just Dance stuff that they did, which was kind of like a commemoration to the song that they played in the background was a commemoration to Prince, which was cool, of course. But they had some pretty choice costumed animal characters which were on stage, which was kind of I don't know. But obviously it was promoting Just Dance 2017 because Just Dance does very well. The other thing that was showing off was like the new South Park game, which, I mean, it looked okay. The last one definitely got a mixed reception. So this one looks definitely interesting, and the humor was done up well. And one thing that I have to say is that it's nice because, like, back when I saw all the footage and stuff of it, like, it looked okay, but it looks like this one has less of a focus on the RPG aspect that the last one had, which I personally, I mean, it has the same focus, but it's better. It looks better. It sounds better. Things seem like they knew what they were doing when they went about, introducing a sequel to that, which was a game that definitely got a mixed opinion all around. But all this stuff was interesting. All these games were really cool to see. I'd love to know in the comments below what you guys thought. What was the one game, or what was a few of the games that you guys thought were really, really cool or really, really exciting that were announced from Ubisoft? Are you a fan of Ubisoft? Do you like a lot of their games? I know that there was no Rayman. Were you disappointed? Were you expecting a Rayman game to come out? Were you expecting a new Assassin's Creed game? I'm not complaining that they didn't do a new Assassin's Creed game, but I'm glad that it did something, and it made sense for them to do something to tie into the movie that's coming out later this year. So that is obviously important to know. But I'd love to know your guys' opinions in the comments. I'll probably have a question time at the bottom, asking a few questions to you guys about your opinions about the Ubisoft E3 press conference. And that's about it for me. So please remember to like, comment, and subscribe. And I'll see you guys in the next video. So until then, guys, I'm Crazy Samurai 71, and goodbye.